Alright guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Rowlands. I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner, and in this video I'm going to talk about what it takes to heal, because I've been doing this now for 8 years and I've been a practitioner now for quite a few years, and I've obviously had quite a few clients, and I know a lot of people in the sphere, and yeah, I just wanted to make a candid video really, because after a while you kind of can tell which people are going to do well and which people are not going to do well. One thing I've noticed over the years is that, you know, more and more people unfortunately are getting sicker. And as I'm sure many of you have experienced with the Nutritional Balancing Program, you know, a lot of people see the Nutritional Balancing Program and it's like the last chance saloon, because it just appears so big and complex and there's that many things to do that people just assume that surely this is not what it takes in order to heal. You know, but the reason why the program is so in depth and is so big is because, like, seriously, that's what it takes to heal. You know, from what I can gather, I have overcome some very, very difficult challenges. Most notably, probably things like EMF sensitivity, Accutane damage, visual snow, severe sexual dysfunctions, derealization, depersonalization, and you know, it's nice that I'm a big hope for a lot of people on the YouTube channel. Like, it's really nice to give hope to people. But sometimes I think people see the YouTube channel and see me and they don't expect the challenges. They don't realize what I had to go through in order to get where I am today. There is a lot of healing programs out there, and the reason why there's not many people like me coming out on YouTube saying that I've healed these things is that a lot of things out there just don't work. I've come to realize the reasons why they don't work. I don't want to go into it too much. A lot of it has to do with balance and the ideas of yin and yang. That's a big part of it. You know, but simple things can hold people back. You know, eating too much fruit will slow people down. Being a vegan, well, it won't slow people down, it'll probably make people worse. Being a vegan is another one, or not eating meat, should I say. You know, other things like having chlorella or spirulina, fasting, smoothies, juicing. So as you can tell, like, there's a lot of things out there that appear to be good, but they just don't work. So then you find something that works. You know, like the Nutritional Balancing Program does actually work. So that's the first step, that's the first big hurdle to overcome whenever you're healing, is to find a program that's going to actually work. You know, and obviously I'm biased towards Nutritional Balancing Program, but if I was someone watching this 8 years ago, you know, I think, you know, I would be watching my own videos thinking, hopefully I come across genuine. You know, hopefully I come across genuine. I think it's quite easy to tell people when people are not genuine or not. You can just kind of hear it in the heart, in the soul. The stories don't add up, you know, all that sort of stuff. Generally people who are more honest will provide stories and examples of this is what happened 5 years ago, whereas like some doctors or some people who say that they're an expert on EMF sensitivity haven't actually been through it, and then they're just giving like scientific examples or nutritional examples about how to overcome it. But I think people who have stories, and generally the ones that are probably the most sincere. But yeah, I think hopefully, like, watching a lot of my videos, quite a few of my videos, you come to the conclusion that, oh, this guy's actually overcome a lot of things. Alrighty, let's start the program. Fair enough. So this is what the video's all about, really, is just, number one, congratulations on finding the Nutritional Balancing program, starting the program, because it does work. But as I said, being a practitioner, you can kind of tell the people that are going to do well and the people that aren't going to do well. It's just a knack that you have, and unfortunately, a lot of people will go off the program because they just don't expect some of the things that begin to happen. So yeah, let's go back 8 years ago when I first started the program. The first thing that overwhelmed me was the extreme exhaustion that sorry about the sun, guys. The extreme exhaustion that I got in the beginning of the program. I went from like being able to do stuff to like fully extreme exhaustion. Like, really was overwhelmed by how exhausted I was. The reason why that happened was because I took a lot of stimuli away from my life by doing the program. Alcohol, cigarettes, worry, anger, sleepless nights, all that sort of stuff. So that's the first hurdle. A lot of people will just freak out straight away and stop doing it because they don't understand what's happening. Now, what got me through that was there wasn't really anyone on YouTube talking about nutrition. All I had really was Dr. Wilson's website. But what got me over that was I was reading a lot. I was reading a lot of his articles and stuff. This is the first hurdle that people have. They will get a problem and then they will just email me, which I will help them, but they won't go and do their own research. And this is the first kind of big thing that a lot of people don't do, is that you need to go and read the articles yourself. And like, if you've got a problem, like, search on Dr. Wilson's website and stuff. That's not because I'm not here to help. I definitely am here to help, but there's so much information that you need to be up to speed with in order for you to overcome the symptoms, that you really need to be doing your own research. So yeah, straight away people will just get exhausted, email me, I'll give them answers, but they just don't have that sort of that inner, I don't know what it is really, that inner intuitiveness maybe, or just drive to go and research and all that sort of stuff. So as I went further down on the program, what I was doing is I was reading a lot of Dr. Wilson's articles because it resonated with me. I got it. That's the second thing. You've got to have faith. You've got to really get the program. You can't lean on your practitioner because it's not going to work. You've got to really take it on board, like a passion. I mean, I was kind of a bit obsessed a little bit in the beginning with reading his articles because it was just so much knowledge and wisdom. I was just overwhelmed. Although I did struggle a lot in the beginning to read his articles because I was so incredibly brain fogged and I had EMF sensitivity that I really, really struggled. So it's having faith and just really getting passionate about the program, realizing what Dr. Wilson's created is really powerful. And hopefully now my YouTube videos can do a similar thing. Maybe even more powerfully, because you can actually see someone on video talking about it, which is important sometimes. Just to see a human being talking about all this sort of stuff. And then the next thing is really understanding healing reactions, because healing reactions are going to be a player in this game for a few years. Healing reactions are part of the program. You've got to understand them. You've got to get used to them. It is important to keep in touch with your practitioner, but you really need to be reading the articles over and over and over again on healing reactions and watching videos. I have a playlist on getting through the initial stages, because again, you have to become knowledgeable about all this stuff, because if you don't, it's tricky. The issue really that practitioners have is, we're not with the people we help all day, 24/7. Like, the advice that we give and Dr. Wilson gives is the best we can give with the information we've got. Sometimes you've just got to use the practitioner, use videos, use articles to kind of just not figure it out, but intuitively, the reason why I'm feeling like this is probably because I ejaculated yesterday, or the reason I'm feeling like this is probably because I did a coffee enema at 6-7 o'clock at night. Now, can you imagine how a practitioner feels, or Dr. Wilson feels, when we get an email saying, "Oh, Lewis, I feel terrible, I didn't sleep." It's, for us, it's all right giving you an article on sleep, for example, on how to improve your sleep. But if you did an enema at 8 p.m. the following night that you didn't tell us about, then that's what's probably kept you up. Or if you ejaculated, for example, at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. the following evening, that's probably kept you up. So that's something that you would have to figure out yourself. Now, there's other things like little tiny interesting things that only someone like me would probably know about. This is why it's a good idea to message me. Some people, for example, who've got EMF sensitivity, I'll say something like, "Was the weather stormy last night?" They'll say, "Yeah, it was." I say, "Well, your EMF sensitivity would have increased because of the moisture in the air and the conductivity of the air makes EMF sensitivity more powerful, and that stops you from sleeping." Now, a lot of people don't know that, so that's something that's kind of like a bit of a secret nugget of wisdom, I suppose, that only I know and a few other people know. So you're kind of understanding that it's a mixture. That's how I got through my healing, was I did a lot of reading, a lot of chatting to people on groups, and I was messaging my practitioners that I had to overcome all this sort of stuff. Now, the next thing you need is like a real grit to get through this. That's a big problem for people, I think. For whatever reason, and maybe I think I probably thank my parents for this. It's a pro and a con at the same time. My parents, especially my dad, drilled it into me to be like a hard worker. I played semi-professional football or soccer, if you're American, in England from when I was a small child, and that's hard work. You had pure dedication. When I was 7-8 years old, I was training 2-3 times a week, playing on a Saturday and a Sunday. You know what I mean? It was like being an adult at a young age, and it instilled into me this drive to win, this drive to succeed, this drive to be better than people. That unfortunately got me into my health problems, but at the same time it got me out of it as well, because I was so determined to heal, absolute determination to heal, that I wouldn't let anything stop me, if that made sense. So you need this kind of grit, this pure grit to get through the situation, Then you need patience. Again, a lot of people, I think, watch my videos and think that this is going to get better after 3 months, 6 months, even a year. It's going to take time, it's going to take time, and I've seen people get frustrated after like 2 weeks on the program, 3 weeks, and they don't realize that I didn't start making YouTube videos or even like getting my information out there until like 5 or 6 years down the line, maybe 5 years, because I just wasn't well enough to do it. So the things that I'm talking about on YouTube, do you know what I mean? It took me like 4 years. I think the first YouTube video I did was like maybe 4 years into the program, or 5 years in. I was still, I still had issues then, but I was much better. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I suppose a good way to end it is to kind of give you an idea of the people that tend to heal, the characteristics that these people have. Usually the first characteristic that they have that I can pick up on straight away is they get the program. They might not understand it, but they get it. They know, they feel that that they've been hit by truth. Or they watch my YouTube videos and they just get me. They get where I'm coming from. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard thing to explain, but they have like an essence of not just the program, but the spiritual aspects of the program as well, and how deep it is. So that kind of gets them excited about the program. The second thing that these people have is they're quite logically minded. They need some intelligence, they have some intelligence, some logic, and they just use their intuition to do their own research, to do their own delving into things that's specific to the program. And these people tend to get involved with the community a little bit. There is a nutritional balancing community. I've got to do a bit of digging around. Various WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups, and they'll get friendly with me, for example, or other practitioners. They just have this vibe that they want to get involved with the community, and they understand that it takes time, and these are the people that when the going gets tough, they'll power through, they'll pray, they'll get in touch with me, they'll phone me up, they'll watch more videos, read more articles. They'll grit through it and get through it. So that's pretty much it, really. Just wanted to be a bit candid. I don't want to come across as some magic formula, which I feel like some people some people watch my stuff and they get really hopeful, and so they should, because I've genuinely been through some very, very difficult times. But at the same time, it was not easy. I really had to go through a lot of hard work, probably more hard work than you guys can even imagine. And a lot of people who start the program, they will begin to experience some of the things that I experienced, and I think it probably shocks them a little bit, because they realize, wow, Lewis wasn't lying when he was saying how difficult things were. But sometimes people will turn that on its head and just be like, oh my god, Lewis is he's lying, this is this is BS stuff, it doesn't work. It's yeah, it does work, you're just going through the same experiences that I went through 7 years back. So I hope that this video has not come across as too negative. I just wanted to be honest about healing and what I'm all about on YouTube. I'm always going to do YouTube videos. I think I'm always going to be here to help people. I do know, really, as a practitioner, that a lot of people will unfortunately leave the program because they don't understand all of this sort of stuff that I'm talking about. And I do realise as a practitioner that I won't see great results in clients for another 2 years, 3 years, or sooner. It's not like that for everyone. But because I'm so passionate about it, the few that do have them characteristics to get through things, they're the ones who I basically live for, in a sense, because they're the ones that will get through it, and they'll not only get through it, they'll realise a lot of very profound truths, and they'll go on to do amazing things. They'll go on to build businesses and help hundreds of people, hopefully, and be a real testament to the world these days. So that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching. Obviously, if you do want to start a nutritional balancing program, then just give me a shout on Lewis at deephealingspace.com. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.